Welcome to Albany High School Cougar Football. We'd like to thank the following sponsors for making this program possible: Albany Body Shop, Albany Bowl, Albany Physical Therapy, Alcan Ingot Powders, American Florist, and the Albany Rotary Club, Anthony Electric, the Appetite Shop Delicatessen, Armstrong and Armstrong Insurance, Arrow Glass Company, and DNS Composing. Welcome to the Albany High School Cougar football game. Our first game of the season was against McClymonds High School on September 14th, 1984. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties, so we lost the first possession and some sound. We start with the kickoff without any sound and then go to McClymonds at about the 24-yard line. Please bear with us. There will be sound. Thank you. Enjoy the game.
Last week led his team to a 35-7 victory. McClymonds will be starting on the Albany 35-yard line. First play will be a run. Stopped. It looks like Jimmy Boriani on the play. About a 2-yard gain. McClymonds will be passing a lot this game. Albany, which has Jimmy Crooks at safety, along with, looks like Marco Santos. I can't see the number. McGhee rolls, pitches, and looks like McClymonds will have a first down. That time getting the ball, David Taylor. On a good run to that left side. Looked like McGhee was in trouble, but he got the ball off. And it is first down. So McClymonds will have the ball at the Albany 22-yard line. At cornerbacks, Eric Duong and Mike Golden. Outside linebacker, Kevin Tannahill, gets in, and Kevin Tannahill almost breaks the play up. Excellent attempt by Kevin Tannahill that time. McGhee, the last two plays, has had trouble getting the ball off to his running backs. On the other end, Doug Roney at outside linebacker, number 11. The possibility of a pass this time by David McGhee. Excuse me, Brian McGhee. And it is a pass.
Watch where the ball goes. Watch the ball.
Excellent defense by Mike Golden that time, holding up number 8, Lionel Dozier. No chance that time for Dozier to make a catch. So we have a fourth down. Excuse me, we have a third down. And about 10 to go. Actually, 17 to go. Cougars looking for the pass. Both safeties are deep. Again, McGhee back to pass. Good pursuit this time. Almost sacked. Almost intercepted. Oh my goodness. Right in the arms of, it looks like, Brad Briscoe. McGhee, hot pursuit that time by Tannahill and two other Albany defenders, which I could not recognize. McGhee looked to be in trouble, and he was. Threw the ball wildly right into the arms of an Albany defender who dropped it. Now we got 4th down and long. Again, we'll see a pass from McGhee. Look for the bomb. No, we get a reverse. A flea flicker. And McGhee's going to keep the ball and run it. Hit hard that time. Number 8, Eric Duong. Brings him down, and the Cougars will get the ball. Excellent defense by Eric Duong that time. Coming from the behind and catching McGhee on the run. So the Cougars will get the ball at about their own 23-yard line. Marco Santos will be in his first starting role as a varsity quarterback today. At receiver, on the far side, we have Eric Duong. And we have an offside this time by Brad Briscoe of the Albany Cougars. The Cougars last week had a little difficulty passing. We will see a lot of running from them. Their offense is headed by Andre Eddings, number 19, fullback. Eddings and Ortega will be sharing the running duties. Marco Santos, an excellent quarterback, has a good sense of timing on the pass. This time he'll go to the run, hand off to Eddings. He's got room. He breaks on the outside. And a big gain that time by Andre Eddings of over 20 yards. That time Eddings was hit, but he bounced right off and kept running. Andre Eddings, if you will remember, last year ran for over 1,000 yards for the Albany Cougars. So the Cougar offense looks to be fired up. Again, Marco on the run. He's going to be sacked for a big loss. The Cougars will be back near the line of scrimmage. That time it looked like Marco was ready to pitch the ball but didn't have anybody to throw it to. McClymonds, I did mention earlier, has an excellent defense. Last week, only 7 points scored against them. Albany, though, seems to have a pretty strong offense this year and is fired up and enthusiastic. Santos this time with a long play. Hand off to Ortega. He's got a hole. And he's brought down with about a 10-yard gain. So the Cougars still are short of the first down. We might see a pass from Santos, possibly an option play to Eddings. Duong and Golden at receivers. Eddie and Ortega at running backs. Marco, handoff, and Eddings has stopped the forward progress. Eddings was not brought down, but once forward progress is stopped, the play is whistled dead. $6:30 left now in the first quarter. And Albany will be punting. Back to punt is Kevin Tannahill. To receive from McClymonds, Mark Henry. Tannahill, a newly made punter. And there's a fake. Eddings with the ball. He's got room on the outside. And a first down for the Albany Cougars. Excellent play that time. That was a tough play to pick up. What happened there, the snap went to Marco Santos, who handed it to Eddings under his legs. Eddings hesitated for a while, then ran with the ball. Excellent timing on that play. Eddings with a big gain. They'll have a first down near the 50. So the Cougars now most definitely fired up, have receivers at twin right. We have Roney down near the bottom of your screen. Santos, handoff to Eddings. He breaks a hole. And another big gain that time by Andre Eddings. On his way to a great game, it looks like. Marco Santos doing an excellent job. Cougars may have another first down. McClymonds seems to be having trouble stopping Andre Eddings. At receivers this time, Jimmy Crooks, Eric Duong. We should look again for the run this time. And handoff to Ortega, who gets about 4 yards on the play. Ortega, a junior this year, last year was a sophomore running back for the varsity team. Has the experience that it takes and should be doing well this year. So the Cougars having a little success here. As long as they keep the ball off the ground, they'll do fine. No more fumbles. Santos gives the call. And another handoff, this time to Eddings. He picks up maybe 2 yards. Geoff Hunt, normally the starting quarterback, will not be starting today. Again, Santos doing a fine job. This is his first starting role as varsity quarterback. We might be looking for a run to the left side this time. And we got a quarterback sneak. Santos breaks through for the first down. Excellent play. Good blocking that time for Santos up the middle.
The Cougars spread the Cougars spread the McClymonds defense out that time by going with a wide slot out left and split into the right, and Marco just took it right up the middle, and the void vacated by that set.
Excellent blocking by Kevin Tannahill on that play. Tannahill, the center. So the Cougars driving well. Again, we have a quarterback sneak. This time looks like there may have been a fumble. But the Cougars still have the ball in any case with a good 3 or 4 yard pickup. And a first down. So the Cougars now on about the 27-yard line of the McClymonds defense. Last week the Cougars did not have trouble scoring. They did die out on defense in the second half, and that's where they lost the game. This time Santos is sacked for about a 6-yard loss. That time it looked like the pitch was going to go to Eddings, but there seemed to have been a mix-up, and Santos kept the ball.
Ariel, they have that wide formation once again with tight end, regularly the tight end number 11, Doug Roney, out wide. And the advantage is it spreads out the defense. The disadvantage is it allows them, if they want to pinch in and get to the backfield quicker on some plays, that when they can.
This is a new formation that the Cougars just used this year called spread, where all the receivers, including the tight end, are wide. 2 receivers to one side, tight end wide to the other. Santos, handoff to Eddings, fumbles the ball. Picked up by the Cougars, it looks like. No. McClymonds picks up the second fumble of the game by the Cougars. That time it was Eddings getting hit and dropping the ball.
Again, there was penetration. At the instant Andre got the ball, the handoff from Marco, he was hit by the defender. I don't know, the Cougars are going to have to think about maybe keeping that tight end in or utilizing the pass out of the formation, making a threat in order to spread out that defense.
Last week, the Cougars had trouble getting the ball to Eddings. He was being hit behind the line of scrimmage on handoffs. So now the McClymonds defense, the somewhat powerful defense, will get to show their stuff again. Last time, the Cougars managed to stop them. We should be looking for a pass here. McGhee is going to pass. Picked off. Number 10, Marco Santos, having an excellent game. So the Cougars go back on offense. Marco Santos, excellent defensive play that time. Had his man covered. Now we have 1:46 left in the quarter. 0-0 ball game. Cougars having an excellent game besides the 2 fumbles. Driving well, playing good defense. So the fired up Cougars again line up in spread. Roney down low. Look for the run here. And it is handoff to Ortega. He'll get about 4 yards on the play. That time, not too much blocking for Ortega. Roney was on the left side, but Ortega did not run behind him. Coming into the game on defense, Michael Golden at cornerback. At wide receiver. Again, we should be looking for the run. Eddings and Ortega on running back. And Santos, no blocking whatsoever, is hit immediately after the snap.
That time, Ariel, the pressure came from the inside. It wasn't one of the defensive ends pinching in when the Cougars in the wide set, but the middle guard just shooting in the gap between the center and the guard. The Cougars are going to have to adjust their blocking up front. The running backs aren't getting a chance to get the ball before they're hit.
It looked like that time a defensive lineman for the McClymonds team just penetrated right by Brad Briscoe. Santos, again the handoff, this time to Eddings, who breaks one tackle and gets around to the outside for maybe 1 yard, maybe no gain at all.
McClymonds I see now what McClymonds is doing. Their middle guard, number 66, Michael Session, is lining up as a nose man, but right before the snap of the ball, he's picking a side. He's going to either go in the gap to the right of the center or the gap to the left, and then penetrate without anybody being able to block him. The guards are going to have to pick that up and block down. Otherwise, we'll continue to have this problem all day.
So that's the end of the first quarter, and we'll switch sides. Cougars will be punting. Kevin Tannahill back to punt. Tannahill this year a new punter. Last year they had Chuck Coughlin, who this year is ineligible because of age. Chuck Coughlin was also an excellent punter. Tannahill this time no fake, gets off a beautiful punt. And that ball may not go into the end zone. And it looks, it is a touchback. So the McClymonds team will get it on the 20-yard line. Eric Duong almost got down there in time to stop it before it got into the end zone. So the Cougars will go back on defense. They've been playing well. No doubt about it, it's just a matter of time before the Cougars on offense will break a good play. Eddings and Ortega both running well. Marco Santos running the offense as well as he can, doing a very good job. The receivers blocking. Seems like the Cougars are having a pretty good day if their offensive line can hold up. And McGhee back to pass. He gets the pass off. Incomplete, way over the receiver's head. Number 88, Mark Henry, a favorite target of McGhee.
Again, the key to the fine Cougar defense is the pass rush. If they put pressure on McGhee, make him throw the ball in a hurry, they're going to be okay.
That time Tannahill was coming in from the behind, but was hit with a good block. He had one man to beat, or he would have got to McGhee.
Joe Ortega from the outside did a good job. Put pressure on him, flushed him out of the pocket, and made him throw the ball on the run.
So the Cougars seem to be playing good pressure defense. McGhee unable to make any passes as yet. Again, we'll probably see the pass. And we do. McGhee has a receiver number 8 open, but good pursuit by Tannahill. And McGhee eludes 2 defensive players for Albany, but is sacked for a loss. That time about a 2-yard loss, about a 15-yard scramble.
Again, outstanding pass pressure by the Cougar defense. Kevin Tannahill on a blitz did a great job of flushing McGhee out of the pocket. Then several Cougar defenders had a shot at him before he was brought down by the rest of the Cougar defense. Okay, 3rd and long, and we'll probably be watching McGhee put the ball up one more time.
Tannahill seems to be the catalyst on the defense pressure. Things are happening for the Cougars. Again, we have a pass, this time a short one. Nobody there to stop the receiver. He's hit by Duong and brought down by Jimmy Crooks and Eric Duong. In there to help on the tackle would look like Mike Golden.
Cougars defense did the job, though. They stopped the tight end, number 82, Jerome Johnson, short of the first down, and McClymonds will be forced to punt. What they did that time is they ran the receivers deep and a little bit of a delayed, a naked screen out to the flat to the tight end, and he was underneath the defensive coverage because the Cougars are dropping very deep on every possible passing situation, Ariel.
So, McClymonds will be punting. Back to receive, Don Black, Jimmy Crooks. Black last week took a couple back for excellent yardage. And that ball go right out of bounds.
Well, the Cougars are ready to start this series of downs with the best field position of the day. They'll be on the inside the McClymonds 45-yard line. Let's see if they change the formation. If they decide to come in tight and try and provide a little better blocking for the strong running backs, or continue to spread it out wide. They'll be on the hash mark to the left, so the near side, the bottom of your screen, will be the wide side of the field.
This time the Cougars will come out in pro. So this time Roney is in to block. And it looks like the Cougar offensive line has rotated some players. Hand off to Eddings. He'll gain about 2. .9:33 left in the half. Cougars again out of pro. 1 receiver on each side, tight end in close for blocking. Let's see what the Cougars will do this time. Probably a run. And it is. Hand off to Eddings. He's hit quick. Maybe a yard on that play.
Ariel, the McClymonds defense is closing down quick now on our dive plays. I think if Marco fakes a dive and pitches out on the option, we're going to be able to go for big yardage. The outside seems to be open.
So, the Cougars have not run the option yet. If they go to the left side this time, looks like they do have a good chance of running it. And they are. Marco Santos fumbles the ball a little bit and gets excellent yardage.
Marco's an outstanding athlete. That time he made a mistake. He didn't handle the ball properly. After riding the dive man through the hole, he wanted to pitch out left, but kind of fumbled the ball, took it himself, and went outside. Ariel, in effect, that was an option. He optioned to himself by fumbling, and as I had mentioned, the outside is wide open. Let's see if the Cougars can continue to take advantage of that defect in the McClymonds defense.
It looked like Marco's intention on that play was to pitch to Eddings. But again, this is about the 3rd time this game it has happened. Eddings was not there for the ball. This time the Cougars line up in spread. We might see a run to the right side this time. 2 blockers over here, Mike Golden, Eric Duong at receiver. No, we got a handoff to Joe Ortega, who gets through for excellent yardage of about 7 yards.
That time the Cougar spread offense worked to their advantage. With Roney going out spread left, he brought the defensive end and linebacker out with him, and Joe Ortega took the ball up inside for a fine gain. Looks like we have a timeout called by McClymonds.
The McClymonds coach coming on the field to talk to his defense.
We'll be back after this timeout in just a second.
Now, after a timeout called by McClymonds. Cougars lining up in a similar offense to spread right, except Roney will be in this time on the line for blocking purposes. We may see a run to the left side. And we get a quarterback sneak by Santos, who picks up maybe 1.5 yards, 2 maybe. That time good blocking by Tannahill, but there's too many McClymond defenders.
Ariel, we'll be seeing now the first short yardage situation for the Cougars that they've had this season, or will we not? Were they got the first down? I thought it was short of it, and that we'd see a short yardage situation, but they did get the first down, and the Cougars are continuing to move.
It looks like Santos pushed the pile over the first line mark. This time the Cougars will come out and spread right again with Jimmy Crooks over at the tight end side. We may possibly see a pass here. And we do. Over to Crooks, who makes an excellent catch. And we have pass interference on the McClymonds defender.
For our fans at home who are used to watching professional football, you know, a pass interference call is an automatic first down at the point of the infraction, whereas in high school football it's 15 yards. So we'll see what happens. The Cougars, of course, take what's ever in their advantage.
That time the formation was different. Usually they have Roney out there on the wide side, but this time they put Jimmy Crooks over there with a little more speed and ability to catch the football.
I think that conditioning is going to play a real factor in the game today. No, I really do, because so many of the Cougar players go both ways. I think that we saw Crooks in for Roney on that play, and we'll be seeing a lot of that kind of substituting as we go along. Now, I'm not sure what's happening now with this discussion. I thought it was quite simply, blatantly pass interference by the defense. It's declined because the reception is more than 15 yards, and the Cougars will have a first down inside the 5-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. Yeah, it looks to be about the 2-3 yard line.
Yes, it is. Last week the Cougars the factor was conditioning, and in the second half the offensive line broke down and was being beat. This time we will look for the ball to go to Eddings. Maybe a run right up the middle. And it is. Eddings is hit immediately. But Santos keeps the ball and dives in for about 2 extra yards.
The Cougars, with a spread formation down near the goal line, do have some problems. That time they were in a spread right formation, a wide slot out to the right. And the
game, but we do have a flag.
There is a flag in the play, and one of the reasons that Andre got into the end zone is that he left a little bit early. He was offsides, and I'm sure that one's going to be called back.
A possible offsides play or illegal motion. And it is being called back, and the Cougars look like they have a 5-yard penalty on them.
This play really hurts the Cougars' chances now, because they're in a position where it is second down, but they're in a position where it's a long way to go inside the 10-yard line. I don't know if they're going to try a pass or some kind of a trick play. To grind it out is going to be difficult at this point on the field.
We may look this time for Eddings or Ortega coming out of the backfield for a short pass. And Santos gives it to Eddings, and he's got open field. Touchdown, Cougars. Andre Eddings, about a 7-yard run, it looked like. No doubt about it. Good blocking that time. One man to beat, and he juked him.
And you can see why I'm not coaching anymore. I said it'd be difficult to run inside, and that's exactly what the Cougars did. They handed the ball off to Andre Eddings on a dive, and no one touched him as he went into the end zone.
So the Cougars put 6 points on the board, the first 6 points of the game. The Cougars will be trying for an extra point. The field goal kicker, Fernando, excellent kicker, can kick long field goals. Has that soccer style kicking. And he puts it through. No, goes wide to the left, excuse me. So the Cougars 6-0 lead. Will be kicking off to the McClymonds team. The punt will be Fernando again. Bill, when you're going to start it, go 3, 2, 1.
Where's my Zoom?
Your Zoom's up here.
Right.
I smell marijuana. I smell marijuana.
Is it irritating your eyes? So the Cougars will be kicking off. Andre Eddings with a great run that time to the outside. Seems to be a little discussion as to where the Cougars will be kicking off from. Fernando, again, an excellent kicker. Has excellent distance on the ball. .703 remaining in the half. And an excellent kick. And an excellent run back that time by the McClymonds. Number 9, Chris Golden. Cougars didn't seem to get down there in time. So, McClymonds comes out with 6:50 remaining in the half. We will be seeing a lot of passing from McGhee. McGhee will be looking for Dozier. Number 88, Mark Henry. We will be seeing a pass here. Almost intercepted that time by Mike Golden. Excellent defensive play. Stuck his hand in there to block it.
The Cougars are doing a good job defensively. They're keeping McClymonds from doing what they want to do. Usually they're a pro-style passing team with a deep drop back. That time they tried to throw the ball quickly, and they seem to be a little bit off rhythm.
We may be seeing a deep pass coming up soon from McClymonds. They're running out of time, and they seem to be getting a little bit desperate on offense. They are normally a team that scores a lot of points. This week they're having a little trouble against the Albany defense, and they are for surely getting frustrated. McGhee, again back to pass. This time they'll be going a lot deeper. Wide open, number 80, Tim Brown for a first down. No, short of the first down by a yard possibly. They do get it.
Yeah, again, what the McClymond Warriors were able to do is they ran the wide receivers deep and threw back behind them underneath to the tight end. And that's something that they'll be able to have all day, as the Cougar defense is very leery of allowing a long pass.
That time, Tim Brown, the tight end, hesitated a little bit before going out, then went out to an open field. On the 50, McGhee starts the play. He's going to run it. Nobody there to hit him. And he gets around to the left side, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the Cougar 30-yard line.
McGhee ran for about 20 yards on that play. And what he was able to do, again, the Cougars defense, good defense is in effect working against them. They had great pressure. McGhee stepped up in the pocket and ran what was in effect a quarterback draw and was able to get underneath the defensive secondary and gain 20 yards in the first down.
That time McGhee had his choice. He could have passed, had open receivers. But the Albany defense worried so much about covering the receivers, let the run get away. So Albany has to crack down now. 6 minutes left in the half. Marco Santos back deep at safety. Jim Crooks in at strong safety. We will again be seeing the pass. And again we see the draw by the quarterback McGhee. And he's hit hard this time. Number 8, Eric Duong. So the Cougars must be frustrated. If they watch for the run, they'll get a pass. If they watch for the pass, they'll get a run. McClymonds offense, not one to be taken lightly. You give them a break, they'll take it, they'll score. Excellent passing by Brian McGhee. They have run very little this game, and I doubt that they will be running a lot at all. Again a pass. Oh, the tight end, Tim Brown, had almost a for sure touchdown that time, but he dropped the ball right into his hands and he dropped it. McClymonds getting very close to the Cougar end zone. The Cougar defense is going to have to crack down now. We will be seeing the pass a lot now. McGhee back. Has a receiver. And he won't get to the end zone, but he does get to about the 2-yard line. So McClymonds driving well this time to about the 2. McClymonds seems to be in control now. Quick pass will score a touchdown, which is not difficult for Brian McGhee, the excellent quarterback of McClymonds. And this time we get a run. And let's see the call. It is short of the touchdown. Excellent Cougar defense that time. Looks like there might be a player hurt. No, he gets right up. So the Cougars stopped him that time on the ground. McGhee will probably go to the pass this time. 4:18 remaining in the half. Cougars lead 6-0. Excellent afternoon for football. And another run. And we have a touchdown by McClymonds. It's a 6-6 ball game.
Okay, now the important extra point kick is about to come into play. And coming into kick, I pause for a moment because we have Boyne Tiang Norvong. Do you know him, Ariel?
No, I don't.
So the Cougars could very well be behind after this kick. Norvong pacing it off, seems to have the technique down. He'll be trying to put it through the uprights. We get a good snap, a good hold, and it's blocked that time. I couldn't tell who it is, but I see Duong and Tannahill in there. So we have a 6-6 ball game. 4 minutes remaining now, and the Cougars will be receiving the kickoff. Cougars will be trying to run down the clock and make the last points of the half to go into the locker room with a lead. Norvong will kick for the McClymonds team. Back to receive again will be Don Black, excuse me, and Jimmy Crooks. Don Black last week had 3 excellent runs. Ruined one of them, about a 45-yard run with a 15-yard penalty by spiking the ball. That may have cost the Cougars the game. That could have been the deciding touchdown if the Cougars had got that well of field position.
I don't think he's going to take it too far. It seems to go being kicked. But as the ball's kicked, zoom into it.
And we have the kickoff now. Jimmy Crooks will take it on the bounce. Has a little trouble picking it up and falls to the ground. So the Cougars will get the ball at their own 31-yard line.
We'll see if the Cougars can put back-to-back good drives together. There's plenty of time left, about 4 minutes left in this first half. Cougars offensive players have had a bit of a rest as the defense was on the field quite a while for that long McClymonds drive.
The only problem with that is that many of the Cougar defenders are the Cougar offense. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with the line. The offensive line, which is having a little trouble. Excellent play by the receivers and running backs and quarterback Marco Santos. Santos hands it. No, he fumbles the ball. Was attempting a handoff, it looked like, to Ortega.
That was, again, the pinching middle guard, number 66, Michael Session, who got in on Santos before he had a chance to hand the ball off. Cougars are going to have to do something to combat that play.
Santos has been lining up at, Sessions, number 66 of McClymonds, has been lining up at nose guard and moving to either side on the play. And he seems to be having ease at getting in. Santos again ready to run the play. We have not seen Geoff Hunt in. This time the Cougars lose a yard. Handoff that time, it looked like possibly to Eddings. And it was to Eddings. So the Cougars having a little trouble moving the ball. 2:40 left in the half. They may have to go to the pass. And Roney is coming out of the game. Crooks in at tight end. That shows that they are possibly thinking of passing. They are going in spread with Crooks out wide. They did pass out of this formation last time they had it. And Santos will be passing again to Jimmy Crooks, who can't get to the ball. Close to pass interference that time. Looks like the man may have bumped Crooks.
Excellent pressure by the McClymonds defense, but an excellent pass by Marco, considering the fact he didn't really have a chance to set up, lay the ball out there for Crooks, but he didn't have. James really isn't a speed burner. Didn't really have the speed to run under it. Now we'll see the Cougars' second punt of the afternoon.
So the Cougars will be attempting their second punt. Third punt attempt, even though the first one was a fake, which worked well. We may be seeing some kind of trick play here. No, we'll get the straight punt. Another excellent punt by Kevin Tannahill. And an excellent run back that time by the McClymonds returner. To about the 50-yard line, 2 minutes left exactly in the half.
About a 38-yard kick by Kevin Tannahill on the play, and McClymonds comes in good field position. Their quarterback, number 10, Brian McGhee, makes the field a lot shorter with his strong arm, and the Cougars are going to have to be ready for the pass. But at the same time, not soften up too much and let the Warriors complete short passes underneath their long pass coverage defense. McGhee hold up that time, Ariel, as McGhee wanted to get his favorite ball into the game.
McGhee, who is 6'1", 180 pounds, in practice earlier was throwing 60-yard passes as if they were 10-yard passes. He will be back to pass, this time deep to the left side. He scrambles, his hit. Good break up that time. Brad Briscoe seemed to break up the play. Excellent defense that time. McGhee really didn't have an open receiver, but got the ball off in that direction.
The Warriors have been most successful at either throwing on a drag play or a delayed pass to the tight end underneath or the running backs out of the backfield, and that's what we should watch for in this situation. Is there another timeout? I can't really tell what's happening right now.
I think it's a referee's timeout.
Oh, there's a problem with the down marker, and they now have them set. There's a penalty, delay of game.
So we have a penalty against McClymonds.
And it'll be first down again. 1st and 15. I guess it was an offsides penalty, so it'll be 1st and 15s for McClymonds now.
So the Cougars get a break that time. 1:54 remaining. McGhee back to pass again. Has a receiver open. Excellent pass. The receiver, number 8, Lionel Dozier, can't hang on. Beautiful pass that time by McGhee. He's got a gun.
McClymonds did a good job of pass protection. Kevin Tannahill was in on the play, but a little bit late, and that was really their best set-up straight pass play of the afternoon. They're going to go without a huddle now. Let's see what happens.
So McClymonds trying to play for time.
And there's some confusion, and they decided to take a timeout.
And it looks like another... Oh, yeah, there is a timeout. So McClymonds will take the timeout.
Yeah, you can't switch. You have to be able to...
Yeah, I got it.
Or some guys do it like this. Their right hand on here, close, and then their left hand on the zoom. We're recording. It's on recording. I don't know. Apologize for that temporary loss of audio. We had technical difficulties, but we're now back again with Ariel blazing, and it's second down for the McClymond Warriors and about 15 to go at their own, what is that, their own 44-yard line.
So McClymonds with 1:48 remaining in the half will be going to the air. They need an excellent drive here. Cougars may be able to get the ball back and attempt the touchdown drive. Again, an open receiver, but excellent defense that time by the Cougars.
Doug Roney was the first man in on that pass rush, wrapped him up, and he was finished off by Brad Briscoe.
Doug Roney, excellent pressure that time, set the play up for Briscoe to come in and make the sack.
And a no-huddle play, 3rd and 22 for McClymonds. Let's see what happens.
That time McClymonds rushing the game, and the Cougars had a little trouble getting off the field. So again, back to drop to pass, and the long bomb, and number 8, Lionel Dozier drops it again, and he will be ejected for that, I'm sure. That could be Dozier's last play. That is going to shake up the McClymond defense, and the Cougars have the momentum and the advantage going. Dozier does not want to come back to face his coach, slowly pacing back to the sideline.
Okay,
So
now with about 1:12 to go, the McClymonds punting team's coming on, and the Cougars have enough time to do something before halftime.
So the Cougars, an excellent situation. Not a very long punt by the McClymonds team. And Don Black with an excellent run back to the 48-yard line of the Cougars, of the McClymonds Warriors. So the Cougars, not only do they have the momentum, they have the field position, and they have the will and drive to do this. We will be seeing a lot of balls going to Eddings. Possibly a pass. Into quarterback now, Geoff Hunt. And we will see a pass. This one will be picked off. Number 9, Chris Golden picks off Geoff Hunt's pass. Not a very good pass at all. He just lofted it up there for whoever was there to catch it. So McClymonds gets the ball back with 43 seconds left. We'll see McGhee go to work. The Cougars had the momentum going, but Geoff Hunt couldn't get the pass off to his receiver.
In this situation, McGhee is as dangerous as a runner as a passer, and the Cougars are going to have to leave somebody at home to watch him on those scrambles and draws in the passing situations.
The clock running, 30 seconds left. McGhee will be going for the deep pass. Cougars are expecting it. And we have a reception. And the Cougars knock him out of bounds at about the 42-yard line.
There is a flag on the play. It might be what appeared to have been a clipping call on Tim Brown, the tight end, but we'll see as the referees are out discussing it.
That time, just Geoff Hunt coming into quarterback, you question that. Marco Santos has been in the whole game. He knows the McClymonds defense, how everybody's been running it. So I don't know. 20 seconds left now for McClymonds.
Yeah, Ariel, the referees are getting ready to indicate it was a clipping call, so it goes way back to the McClymonds 22-yard line, and with only 20 seconds left, they may be ready to just run a running play and go in for halftime with the score tied at 6.
With a team like McClymonds who does like to pass, we do have the possibility of a pickoff play and an easy touchdown for the Cougars. They are very close to a touchdown at about the McClymonds 25-yard line. Again, McGhee back to pass. Excellent defensive play, Eric Duong leaping into the air. 14 seconds left now, only 6 ran off the clock that time. There, as I said, if that ball was a little lower, Duong could have picked it up and ran in for the touchdown.
I don't know if they went without a huddle.
So McClymonds seems to be setting their plays, wanting to score badly. They get the pass off, And number 80, the receiver, Tim Brown, runs out of bounds. He is the tight end who is responsible for the clipping call that brought him back there. 10 seconds left. The clock is not running.
Brown did a simple out pattern on the play. The referees are holding the game up for a moment as they set the down markers. They're going to measure for a first down. Let's see.
It doesn't look to me like they got the first down, but I'm pretty far from the play.
Ariel, I'm going to differ with you. I'm going to say it's a first down. Looks to me like they have it by the nose of the football.
And we do have a first down, Mr. Allegrati, on the nose that time, as the ball did make it by nose.
This could be the last play of the half. There's 10 seconds to go, depending on how long the quarterback scrambles before throwing it.
We may see a trick play here by McClymonds. I don't know what they have in store for Albany, but this is an excellent time for a big break for McClymonds. So, McGhee again back to pass. No trick plays. They'll be going for the bomb. And his man is not open. 3 seconds remaining on the clock. They'll get one more play. One play is all McClymonds need with a dangerous quarterback like McGhee.
Fine bit of coverage that time by Michael Golden, running stride for stride with the receiver. McGhee really threw that ball away. He threw it on a line, knew that with the incompletion there'd be time for one more play. The two men were alone by themselves out on the right side. Let's see what's happened. Tim Brown, the time end is coming out. Maybe McClymonds will go into a spread formation and do something a little bit different, as you talked about, with not really there being much of a risk with only 3 seconds to go.
So, the Cougars looking for the deep pass. Jimmy Crooks 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Golden 15. And McGhee on a run, on a reverse this time. Oh my goodness. If Albany had intercepted the ball, they could have ran it back.
Actually may not be the end of the first half. There was a penalty flag, and if it was on the Cougar defense, the half cannot end on a penalty, and it was. I believe
it is on the Cougar defense.
I believe it was roughing the passer, so the first half will have one more play.
So, the Cougars gave the dangerous McGhee a second chance. Let's see what he can do with it. Definitely McClymonds has something up their sleeve for this one. They're either going to go for the big play or no play at all. No time showing on the clock. And a big penalty that time brings it up close to the 50-yard line. And McClymonds out for the final play of the first half. Excellent game so far, pretty evenly matched teams. And they are going for the big one. And McGhee gets loose, but he won't score. And that's the end of the first half. And we'll be back in just a minute with the third quarter. McGhee, number 10, also plays defensive back. He's a senior. Last year passed for over 2,000 yards. And this time he gives the handoff. So it looks like number 51, Kier Abrams. No, excuse me, that's the tackle. Well, there was a handoff on that play. And they pick up about 3. McGhee has been running for a lot of yards. This time we might see a pass. And we do, as McGhee is back. Beautiful reception that time. Excellent defense by Eric Duong, just a beautiful pass and catch. That time, number 88, Mark Henry, with the reception. Eric Duong hit him hard, but he held on. Duong played that ball perfectly. He knew he couldn't deflect it, so he waited for the hit. McGhee again will probably pass. This time he keeps the ball. Runs to Duong's side, who makes him fumble. Quick thinking by McGhee, and he knocked it out of bounds. Excellent defensive back, last year all-leaguer. He's a hard hitter for his size. And McGhee rolls out right this time. And he'll keep the ball and run for a big gain. He's still going, and he'll be in for the score. Touchdown, Brian McGhee. Excellent run that time. He went through about 4, 5, maybe 6 Cougar defenders. Looked like McGhee was rolling the pass, but decided he had no wide open receiver, so he ran it and made the right decision. So, on to kick the extra point will be Norvong. McClymond Warriors will try for the 2 points. Receiver to Duong's side. Most likely the pass will go his way. And Tannahill stops him from getting in. That was number... I can't see the number on his jersey. Looks like number 83, Eric Burns, tied in. It was number 83, Eric Burns. Well, excuse me, I don't think that, I guess Brian McGhee did not score. It was just a long run to about the 3 or 4 yard line. So excuse me on that one. McGhee this time on the run. Excellent defense by Tannahill. And Tannahill hits him twice. Brings him back to about the 16-yard line. Tannahill hit him once, fell, got back up, stayed with the play, hit him again. Then McGhee, in frustration, just fell to his knees. So the Cougar defense is responding well to a tough situation. So Brian McGhee trying to lead his team to a lead. Has not been successful here, has gone to the run, and they have been stopped. They will most likely go back to the pass, and they do. And an incomplete pass that time intended for number 80. Number 80, Tim Brown, the tight end. So it looks like 4th down now. McGhee will no doubt be passing this time. They will be going for the touchdown. I'm not sure. I think it is 4th and goal. And McGhee rolls back. He's got a man on Duong's side. Excellent defense that time. Looked like number 11, Roney, might have got a finger on it. It could have been Jimmy Boriani. So the Cougars will get the ball at their own 16-yard line. Almost intercepted that time by Eric Duong on the deflection. Cougars will have Geoff Hunt quarterbacking now. Marco Santos, who did start the game, did an excellent job driving the Cougars to a 6-0 lead. Hunt, who came into the game last half, threw one pass and it was intercepted. This time, he'll stay on the ground with Eddings, who fumbles the ball. and I can't tell who's got it. And McClymonds has got the ball on the fumble. Andre Eddings fumbling the ball. So Geoff Hunt not having very much luck coming out on the field. So Hunt's been in 2 plays, both times turnovers. Now McGhee will go to work. Again to the pass. Duong putting pressure. Brown heard footsteps. Excuse me, that was Henry, heard footsteps. Excellent defense being played by the Cougars today. Especially on the line, Kevin Tannahill. At defensive back, Eric Duong, both having excellent games. Also, I must mention that Jimmy Boreani's having an excellent game. Doug Roney as well. Again, McGhee with the pass. Completed this time to number 82, Jerome Johnson, and he's hit. So, McClymonds gets that much closer to the touchdown. Cougar defense has been doing well close to the goal line on D. 8 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter now. Santos back at safety, Duong and Golden at corners. And McGhee can't find anybody open, but he passes, and no touchdown. And it looks like that was number 8. Once again, Lionel Dozier, who has dropped another crucial pass. Both times wide open, should have been touchdowns. He's dropped them both. The only person he has to blame is himself. Flags are on the play. The Cougar defense let him get wide open that time in the end zone. McGhee scrambled and then saw Dozier wide open, passed it. Dozier couldn't hang on. Number 80, Tim Brown, now coming into the game. He will be coming in at tight end, gives the play to McGhee. Referees telling Eddings the penalty. And it is against McClymonds. So, if Dozier had caught the ball, it would have still been nullified. That time was an illegal pass by McClymonds as McGhee passed it past the line of scrimmage. So, McClymonds goes to work again. McGhee at quarterback. They will be passing. And excellent pass rush that time. But McGhee still gets the pass off to number 23, Frank Cooks, who was brought down by Eric Duong. Again, Duong saved a crucial run. That time, excellent pass rush by Brad Briscoe and Kevin Tannahill. Both of them got their pads on McGhee after he threw the ball. Geoff Hunt showing that determination after coming out twice. 2 turnovers. Comes right back off of it with an excellent pass. Hunt this time around to Eddings, who picks up some more yards with some excellent blocking that time. Looked like Danny Crow and Michael Golden in front blocking. So the Cougars are driving well. Eddings has been running well all game against the McClymonds defense. Cougars line up in pro. Eric Duong down low by your screen. Hunt this time takes the quarterback sneak. We have flags all over the place. No doubt about it, it was some kind of illegal motion or offsides. Penalty was against Albany, and the referees will mark it off. 5-yard penalty that time. So Hunt will go to work with a 5-yard deficit. Hunt keeps it himself, and he'll run around the outside. We'll come close to a first down. Excellent blocking that time by Andre Eddings. On a play like that, Geoff has his choice. He can keep it or give it to Eddings. That time he felt that he had more room on the outside to keep it. 6:18 remaining in the third quarter. Roney comes out of the game. In comes Jimmy Crooks. We may see a pass. Cougars did get the first down on a penalty against the McClymonds, and are into the McClymonds territory at about the McClymond 46-yard line. We do see a pass here, almost intercepted. Number 58, David Taylor. That pass was going to be intended for Eric Duong.
The Cougars might have been setting up a double pass in that situation. I saw Golden going out, and maybe we'll see that later on. That's a very dangerous play because not only was it almost intercepted, it would have been a lateral if complete, and oftentimes the receiver will let one of those go, and it can get picked up and recovered by the other side. Okay, Ariel.
Yes, Mr. Allegrati is correct. That was the formation for the double pass. Golden was going out. Hunt this time keeps it himself, and he'll gain a yard. That time he was looking to pitch it to Joe Ortega, but was tackled. McClymonds now cracking down on the Albany running game.
Geoff did a good job of running the option that time. They read the defensive end well, and it was only the cornerback, number 24, Danny Williams, who came up to make a fine tackle. Otherwise, Geoff was going to get a few yards.
So the Cougars will now be trying to get the first down. And it's a handoff to Eddings, and he's got room to run. One man to beat, and he's brought down, but not after a first down. Eddings never brought down. Excuse me. He's a bull. He just stands up. They may stop his progress.
Andre exhibited his fine explosive start on that play and his speed past the line of scrimmage. When we are able to get him the ball without anybody making contact with him first, he'll make those kind of runs all day long.
So there you see it. Twin spread right formation. Cougars have been running a lot of this today. Handoff. No, Geoff keeps it once again. And short of the first down by about 5.
A fine play by Hunt, and that will continue to be effective. The McClymonds defense is so worried about Andre Eddings that they keep 2 men on him when he's the pitchman on that play. And the quarterback can always get 4 or 5 yards going upfield as he did that time.
No doubt about it, that play will. I could not tell if the person bringing Geoff down had grabbed him by the face mask or the pads. Cougars ready to go quickly. 4:09 remaining in the third quarter. Cougars very near a touchdown that would put them in the lead in a very close game where a touchdown could win it. Geoff this time hands it off to Eddings. He's got room on the outside. Close to another Cougar first down. So the Cougars driving well. They're fired up. Running right through the McClymonds defense. So, the Cougars line up in pro. Split backs. Hunt this time. Takes it himself once again. He's got room on the outside. Touchdown Cougars. Geoff Hunt puts them in the lead.
Excellent run by Geoff Hunt. Read the defensive end, taking upfield, and showed a little move in the open field, and then dove over with some extra effort into the end zone for the Cougar score that puts them ahead.
There you see the running skill that I was telling you about Geoff Hunt. No doubt about it, he could be a running back. On to kick will be Fernando. An excellent kicker missed his first attempt. This is going to be a very important point. A bad snap. A bad snap, but Mike Golden handles the ball well, and Fernando puts it through. So the Cougars lead 13-6.
Very slowly go. Ready?
Hoping here to stop McClymonds quick to get another touchdown and put him into an uncatchable lead. 6 points, 7 points is definitely not enough against the arm of Brian McGhee. And he's about to show it. Good pass that time. Tim Brown picks it up, but there's flags on the play.
I'm not sure what it is. Sometimes when we see that flag go down in the offensive backfield, it's a holding penalty, but I really didn't see. I didn't really see the infraction. Sorry, we had technical difficulties for a moment. A Coke can was rolling off the edge of the roof up here where we're taping the game, and Ariel made a great play with his right foot to keep it from going over and possibly endangering someone down below.
So there you have the play-by-play action, Mr. Allegrati. Out of the game comes wide receiver Mark Henry. So McClymonds switching their offense around a little bit, sending out a few players, bringing some in. Five offensive changes this time. That's almost half the offense. We may be seeing something funny here. McGhee, ready to get his offense rolling, fumbles the ball. Albany picks it up. So the Cougars will be in excellent scoring position. That time, number 78, looks like Danny Crow on the pickup.
In fact, Cougars were sending everybody on that play. Andre Eddings, who was in at linebacker, was going on to set up the middle, and he caused pressure. But it might have been that one of those changes was a center. I don't know, Ariel, but it didn't seem that McGhee ever got that the snap from center smoothly.
It looked like McGhee was trying to pull back without the ball. Very similar to an infielder trying to throw before catching it. So the Cougars, excellent position. Hunt with the ball, back to pass. He finds Eddings. Eddings has got room. Excellent block by Kevin Tannahill, and Eddings is going to go into the end zone with a Cougar touchdown. Cougars lead 19-6.
Ariel, the Cougars set up a quick screen on that play. Andre was a right halfback, went over to the left. The offensive players, of course, let their defensive men in. And then when he was in the open field, made a great juke at about the 20-yard line, and then all the way into the end zone for the score.
That is the second time Andre Eddings and the Cougars have pulled that play. If you will remember back on the other end of the field, Andre Eddings in Geoff's third attempt at quarterback ran a good 25-yard run. So Fernando will come back on the field now. Excellent play that time. And a bad snap. Fernando will have to pick this one up and run. And he picks it up, but there will be no run. So the Cougars lead 19-6 with 1:57 remaining in the third quarter. to the McClymonds offense. Another onside kick picked up and immediately stopped by the McClymonds offense.
I don't know, Ariel, if those kicks are intentional or not. He is definitely topping the ball, but that gives the McClymond Warriors the ball in excellent field position at their own 42. I think that the Cougars wanted to kick deep.
I agree with you, Mr. Allegrati. From seeing Fernando punt in practices, kick in practices, he does often kick it on the ground unintentionally.
He's making the transition from soccer to football for the first time this year, and it is a lot different. The ball isn't quite as round as a soccer ball.
He does, however, when he boots field goals, he can get 45, 50-yarders. I've seen him do it. So the Cougars ready to bear down. McGhee back to pass. Has a man over to Duong's side. Excellent pass rush by the Cougars. Forcing McGhee out of bounds with about a 2-yard gain at the most.
Again, the Cougars doing a great job of putting on pressure to the quarterback from the outside. Kevin Tannahill from the left defensive end position and Doug Roney from the right.
As I said, Tannahill and Roney both having excellent defensive games. McClymonds having trouble lately getting that pass off. Good pass coverage by Eric Duong and Mike Golden. There have been no open receivers lately for McGhee to throw to. We also have Santos and Crooks at the defensive backs positions. Both of them doing excellent jobs. McGhee again back to pass. All receivers are covered well. Number 8. Lionel Dozier, the person who has been dropping the passes all day, makes a big play, but is hit hard.
Yeah, that time Dozier was able to get open because McClymonds ran a deep crossing pattern and dragged him across. That will be open. The Cougars defense is set up to stop the long pass. If McClymonds chooses to throw underneath, or if they're able to run out of a passing formation, they can get 10, 15 yards all afternoon.
Good analysis that time on Mr. Allegrati. Golden had him man-to-man, had him covered well, but Dozier just stopped, turned around, and caught the ball. Again, McGhee back to pass. Again, excellent pass rush by the Cougars. And we may get intentional grounding. No flags on the play. No receivers were near that pass.
We're at the 48-second mark to go in the third quarter, and McClymonds, as Ariel called it, from about the middle of the second quarter, seemed to lose any continuity they had, and they're scrambling around trying to do anything. That strong Cougar defensive stand early in the third quarter inside their own 10-yard line did a lot to pump up the Cougars, and the momentum definitely has swayed.
The Cougars did come out of the locker room fired up at halftime. I must say it looks like conditioning this week paid off for the Cougars. Cougars seem fired up and rejuvenated for the second half. McGhee again back to pass, has a man open. Excellent defensive play. That time number 2, Jimmy Crooks, bringing him down quick. Crooks had an opportunity that time to step in front of the receiver and intercept the ball.
Yeah, Ariel, well, that was another example, though, of that pass underneath the defensive coverage. That time to Jerome Johnson, who's in at tight end for Tim Brown.
Again, the tight end coming in low. Has been catching that pass all day. Doing much better than the long pass, which McGhee is used to.
And now we have a different situation. Rather than long yardage to go, we have third and about 4 or 5, and we'll see how McGhee operates.
We still may possibly see a pass from McGhee. And we do. We have a man open on the right side. McGhee gets loose. He's going to run it. And he's brought down. Excellent play by the defense of the Cougars.
Kevin Tannahill was a key Cougar player on that play. He was playing defensive end, and to tell you the truth, McGhee beat him to the outside. Kevin didn't do his job of containing, but he's such a good athlete. He turned around, kept the pursuit on him, and was able to tackle McGhee just at about the line of scrimmage, maybe a loss of a yard. And when we have the teams turn around at the end of this third quarter to start the fourth, it'll be 4th down and a long 5, and with the score being 19-6 in this point in the game, I think McClymonds will go for it.
The Cougars definitely have the momentum on their side. McClymonds, a good passing team, an offensive team, if anything. With good passing from McGhee, has not been able to get the pass in the crucial situation. Cougars stopping the McClymonds run as well. So McClymonds 4th and 5. A long 5, I may add, as the Cougars playing excellent defense. So the beginning of the 4th quarter. And McClymonds will punt. Not a very long punt. That time Don Black will let it bounce. And he made a mistake. Don Black that time made a mistake letting that one go. Even though that could have just been the way the ball bounces.
I don't know, Errol. Usually the general rule is if you're going to field that ball inside the 10-yard line, you want to let it go. Because if you fumble in that situation, obviously the defensive team has a chance to score or be in excellent field position. There's always a chance of it bouncing in the end zone, as we saw earlier in the first half when Tannahill boomed that one down and bounced at about the 20 and rolled all the way into the end zone.
A good point that by Mr. Allegrati.
The Cougars would love to have a long drive now. Running plays that'll tick seconds off the clock with 11:48 to go and put pressure on the McClymond Warriors because the score is 19-6 at this point.
So if the Cougars can run down enough of the clock so the McClymonds can only make one more drive, that'll be fine. Ortega on the run. Excellent second attempt.
Joe looked like he was watching a little bit of that Monday Night Football Tony Dorsett spin on that play there. He was going straight on a dive and did that spin move and went outside and got another 2 or 3 yards.
So Ortega gets a little tip from the television. Cougars will be running a lot. Possibly we'll see the outside option. These are two contrasting offenses. Cougars, a running team. A pass by Hunt. Excellent catch by Eric Duong. No, I take that back. Eric Duong dropped it. As I was saying, a contrast between the two offenses. McClymonds a passing team, and pretty much Cougars are a running team.
We're now at about 5:30 on this September afternoon in the sun. I'm not trying to make excuses for Eric Duong, but in the way of explanation, that ball was thrown right back into the sun, and I think that might have had an effect as it's a very high pass.
No doubt about it. This time of day is a hard time to catch footballs.
Especially that particular pass, which was thrown by Geoff, and to tell you the truth, it looked more like a punt than a pass. It wasn't very well thrown.
It was a little up in the air. If Geoff had put a little something on that one, could have been a touchdown. Excellent attempt by Eric Duong. Excellent defense by the defender. Looks like we have a timeout by McClymonds. The Cougars trying to buy some time here. Trying to run some time off of that clock. 10:55 remaining in the game. And no yards gained on that play, possibly a McClymonds football. And it is, as McGhee is coming onto the field. So McClymonds excellent field position. This could be critical for the Cougars. And a pass by McGhee finds Brown on the outside. Touchdown, McClymonds. So the Cougar lead is cut down 19-12.
This is a very important extra point coming up. Cougars are ahead by 7 now, and if they're able to stop this extra point, of course they'll be in a situation where McClymonds, if they were to score again, would have to go for 2 for the win. Let's see what happens.
So, like Mr. Allegrati said, an important point here.
They're going for 2.
They're going for 2. And McGhee. Excellent defensive play that time. Michael Golden with the interception. So, McClymonds took the chance, and that could be the game for him. That could mean the difference.
It's gonna be important for the Cougars now to establish a strong running attack, a good offensive series down again, to both maybe wear down McClymonds a bit, take a little bit of the fire out of them as they scored so quickly just then. Cougars did a great job last series running on first down, getting over 5 yards, and then they threw that pass, which might have been an audible, and although it appeared to first be complete, when it wasn't, it put the Cougars in a difficult position because there we go, 3rd and 5, whereas had they run it, they could have been able to run the ball again and work the clock down. Now the clock is going to be a big factor. There's 10.5 minutes to go. Cougars need to get control of the ball and keep it on the ground and watch it wind down.
So as Mr. Allegrati said, important set of downs here for the Cougars coming up. A short kick this time, taken by Marco Santos, who looks to have gotten some good yardage that time, up to about the 38-yard line.
Exactly. Excellent field position to start a drive.
So the Cougars will be trying to keep it on the ground, running the clock as much as they can. 10:19 remaining now. So, Geoff hunting a quarterback now. Handoff to Eddings. Breaks a couple tackles. He's got room on the outside. Excellent run that time by Eddings. Too bad he went out of bounds. Stopping the clock that time when he went out of bounds. Eddings gets the first down for the Cougars and is into McClymond territory.
Andre again, quick acceleration, hitting the line without anybody getting a hand on him before he gets to the line of the scrimmage and popped it outside, turned it up, and as you said, Ariel, if he didn't step out of bounds, that would have been a real long run. But we do have a 1st and 10.
So, the Cougars first down. Too bad the clock was stopped. Again, they will go to the ground. Eddings, once again, picks up about 2, but that'll give them valuable time that they need.
Yeah, that time there was penetration. Andre wasn't able to hit it quick upfield. He tried to juke, come back to the left side, but he was stopped by, a gain of about 1 yard, making it 2nd and 8.
So, that time Eddings went up into the air. If it came down on his feet, may have been able to accelerate, but it was hit while in the air. Eddings does fly a lot. This time a pitch to Ortega. He's got room, but he's hit. Maybe a 2-yard pickup.
Ortega is more of a power runner. Really is at his best with the quick pops up the middle. Out in the open field, he doesn't have the moves or the speed that Andre has, but he's a great straight-ahead runner.
Ortega is not intimidated by anybody on defense. Loves to mow him down and get right through. McClymonds now kind of just watching to see what's going to happen. Cougars have control right now. Let's hope they don't lose it. 19-12, 8 minutes and 52 seconds remaining. Hunt, handoff to Ortega. Excellent run by Ortega. We got a Cougar first down.
Exactly what we were talking about, Ariel. Instead of trying to do something fancy with Ortega, to give him the ball straight up, and he does a good job. Goes for about 12 yards in the first down.
So the Cougars in excellent field position. The clock is not running. It is. Yes, it is running. They were just moving the ball.
Yeah, they stopped the clock to move the chains as they do in college football. Now it's rolling down again, 8:35 to go.
So the Cougars not only getting valuable yards, they are getting valuable seconds ticked off of the clock. And we have offsides that time.
Might have been an encroachment penalty. It looked to me like the right side of the McClymonds defense moved before tight end Doug Roney stepped across. Oh no, they didn't. Maybe they didn't see it.
So the Cougars hand off to Ortega. Again, another good run by Ortega, taking seconds off of the clock. Coming down to the 8-minute mark now.
Okay, we're up to, we got a little bit of that penalty yardage back. We're up to second down and about a long 11.
So the Cougars looking for insurance points here. If they score, that'll put the game pretty much out of reach. Hunt this time on the quarterback sneak. Close to another Cougar first down. And looks like we have a hurt Albany player, but he's getting up.
Actually, with the penalty area, there's a long way to go. It's third down and still about 7 to go.
Good point, Mr. Allegrati. I was looking at the wrong chain that time. Daryl Nelson hurt on that play, but he bounced right back. Crooks coming in now. Roney leaving the game. We may see a pass.
Last time the Cougars were successful, that screen pass in a passing situation. Let's see if they try it again.
And we're going to have a quick pitch. And the Cougars are not going to relinquish the ball. Yes, they are. So Eric Duong, who's been playing such a good game, drops the ball.
Ariel, you remember earlier in the game we talked exactly about that play. That was, as you said, their double pass. It was not the double pass.
90.
It was just a,
It
okay.
was black 90.
Regardless, it was a lateral, and that's why they lost the ball. Duong, if he doesn't catch that pass, has to pick it up right away, and McClymonds gets the ball back. Fortunately, the Cougars were driving the ball well, and McClymonds, although they have it at their 39-yard line, are not nearly a good field position they were after the last turnover.
So McClymonds, with the arm of McGhee, will try to drive now. No doubt about it, will be going to the air. And a good pass to Brown. Crooks brings him down out of bounds.
Brown, the tight end, has been their most reliable receiver today. As you mentioned, other Warrior receivers have been dropping the ball. That time, Brown, though, the tight end, caught the ball in the medium pass range, and the Warriors are in good shape now at the Cougar 43-yard line.
The Cougars have not been able to stop the short pass. They have been doing well against the long bomb. Climbing's driving. 19-12 ball game. McGhee trying to get his team back into this ball game. A touchdown will put them within 1. This will be a shorter pass. And a great catch that time. Number 88. The receiver, Mark Henry. Good defense by the defensive backs of the Cougars. Just an excellent pass.
Exactly, Ariel. They couldn't have defended that any better. However, the Cougar defense isn't putting on as much pressure as they were earlier on McGhee. They're going to have to get revitalized and wind up that pass rush. Maybe Doug Roney and Kevin Tannahill can get untracked again.
No doubt about it. McGhee had been having troubles for a while, but now he's back on track. Again, McGhee on the pass. Excellent pass rush that time. And an incomplete pass, it looks like. Tannahill in that time. Excellent pressure.
The Cougars are vulnerable to that quick swing pass and the defense they're playing, but if Tannahill puts that kind of pressure on, it's going to be difficult for McGhee to complete anything.
That's the kind of pressure the Cougars need from Tannahill and Roney. The kind of pressure that had stopped McClymonds in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up here. Again to the pass, McGhee. Picked off, Danny Crow. And the Cougars have this game. 5:50 left, the Cougars will be running down the clock.
McGhee did an excellent job of stepping up in the pocket, surrounded by pressure, firing a strike into Lionel Dozier, but as he's done so often this afternoon, it went off his hands, and Danny Crow was a man on the spot picking up that ball.
Dozier has dropped 3 crucial passes. The Cougars have just caught the game. literally caught it. Danny Crow has caught the game away from McClymonds. Hunt will be working now to stop the clock to Ortega, who gets a yard. Tense.
Yeah, we shouldn't see the ball in the air too much now. The Cougars are going to give it to the big horses, Joe Ortega, number 13, and Andre Eddings, number 19, and try and ground up yardage and ground down the clock.
So McClymonds in a bad situation here, has to stop the Cougars on the ground. And Eddings breaks loose. He might go on this one. Oh, so close.
A 30-yard run by Andre Eddings. He went from their own 14 up to about, maybe even a little bit longer, up to about the 47-yard line. Oh, they're spotting the ball back, yeah, up to about the 44-yard line. Excellent play, just like we saw earlier this afternoon. Andre has that quick acceleration, and once he's past the line of scrimmage into the backfield, he can outrun anyone.
So the Cougars with an excellent run from Eddings. Again, Eddings stepping out of bounds. The clock stops. Again, we'll most likely see a run. Again to Eddings. This time he stopped with a lot shorter run, but the clock is running.
The Cougars were stopped for no gain on that play, but as Ariel said, seconds, I should say, are ticking away, and we're down to a 4-minute and 25-second mark.
So the Cougars pretty much have the game in their hand. They just have to do what they can with it. Hunt, excellent run that time by Geoff Hunt. Hit twice, but kept going.
Hunt also doing a little bit of that spin move. All the Cougars must have been watching television the last couple of Monday night games. Anyway, we're in a situation now where what the Cougars have to do is be careful of the turnover. No interceptions, no fumbles, and they're in good position.
Mr. Allegrati is absolutely correct. Last Monday night we had a kegger. So the Cougars come out with 3:50 left. In pro, they come out, possibly a run to the left side behind the blocking of Jimmy Crooks. No quarterback sneak.
The Cougars were trying to pick up about 3 yards for the first down, running that quarterback sneak, which has been open all day. The reason that's open, Ariel, is as we've been talking about, the middle guard lines up directly in front of the center, Kevin Tannahill, and then chooses a side, and Hunt goes the opposite way. That'll always be good for a few yards. This time, my guess is, though, they're a little bit short. What do you say?
I think they're going to be a little bit short, just as you said. And they are by about a foot.
I'd give the ball, I'd let Hunt run it up the middle again. The McClymond Warriors have been able to get penetration when they've wanted to. They get penetration and get to either Eddings or Ortega, although they're both very strong runners. If they get to him before they have a chance to get some momentum towards the line of scrimmage, it's going to be difficult to get that first down. However, if Hunt, on the other hand, is able to just run right up the middle, he can get that first down.
Cougars on offense now, looking for some points. 3:34 remaining on the clock.
Okay, we have this 4th and short yardage. My call is Hunt up the middle. We'll see what happens.
I disagree with Mr. Allegrati. I think it's going to go to Ortega. And it goes to Ortega up the middle for about a 7-yard gain.
Excellent call. Maybe the McClymonds defense was thinking the same thing I was, as they were keen, pinched up in the middle, and Joe was able to go off tackle for the big first down.
So the Cougars get another first down that's very important. That'll give them 4 more plays now to run down that clock. A 19-12 lead. Hunt. That time it seemed unwise to run to that side. Everybody was stacked up on the left.
Yeah, the ball was right on the hash mark, and it was a short side of the field. But again, as we said, the run does its job. Andre Eddings, after taking a little bit of a breather, is back in the backfield for the Cougars.
So the Cougars sacrifice yardage for time. Andre Eddings now in the game. Don Black that time was in excellent blocking by him. Don Black will be an excellent runner in time. And we have a timeout called by the Cougars. Cougars having a good drive now. Geoff Hunt, we will be looking for the run. This time again to the left side, I suppose. And Hunt gets the quarterback sneak. Excellent run, about 2 yards short of the first down. Cougars running down the clock, under the 3-minute mark now. Cougars lead 19-12. Driving into McClymonds territory, handoff to Ortega. Has one man to beat, couldn't get away. But Ortega having an excellent game on the ground as well as Eddings. Another first down for the Cougars.
Hunt's experience is really paying off. Early in the first half, people would get through, penetrate, get to Marcos Santos, so you'd have trouble completing the handoff. Geoff is a tough player. He stays in there, hands the ball off, and Ortega's able to pick up the first down.
Very true. First half, Santos was having a little trouble getting the ball to his running backs. But he did make up well with his athletic ability and quick thinking. Eddings this time with the run. Close to another first down, maybe 2 yards short.
That's been the most effective play for Andre all afternoon. That quick pop off the right and then puts a little move on the linebacker, and he's in a foot race. The other real effective play has been that screen pass, but I don't think we'll see one of those this afternoon.
So we're now to the 150 mark in the ball game. Cougars looking more and more alive as time goes on. Getting closer and closer to that touchdown. Excellent drive by Geoff Hunt this time. And Geoff Hunt stays on his feet for a while, and we'll have a flag.
Yeah, the penalty will stop the clock. There's about 1 minute and 33 seconds to go. I want to remind all of our viewers that this is our inaugural broadcast of the 1984-85 Albany High video series, and we'll be on every Thursday night with a program. Of course, we'll have football and basketball action. Ariel Blazin will be our chief announcer for the basketball season. And later on, the Albany High ROP video class will be producing a spin-off show. Ariel also is in his last game as a football announcer. Next week we'll see number 18 on the field and participating for the Cougars.
So the Cougars very close to a touchdown now, running excellent up the middle. Hunt to Ortega, who breaks through to about the 4-yard line.
Excellent running. Ortega to the left, Eddings to the right. The Cougars don't want to rub it in, but they'd love to have another score and wind down the clock at the same time.
The Cougars will not mind rubbing it in. Trust me, last week when they should have rubbed it in, they didn't, and they paid for it. A 24-19 loss. Cougars look much, much more alive in the second half this game than they did last week. Last week they just absolutely died in the second half. This week they look alive. They look like they dominate the other team. Hunt to pass this time. And we may not have pass interference, and that's just an incomplete pass.
There's only 41 seconds to go, and before signing off, I would like to say that the people here at McClymonds have been very hospitable this afternoon. A lot of help setting up our equipment. Fans have been excellent, and I'd look forward to playing them again next season.
Mr. Allegrati, right on the nose. We have had no problem here at McClymonds High School. Excellent hospitality, excuse me. So, looks like the Cougars might score another TD here. On the run to Eddings, and he's in for the touchdown. Cougars 25, McClymonds 12.
Ariel, that might not have looked like much initially. It was an outstanding run by Eddings. He started off to the right side. It was blocked, put a little swivel hip move, and cut back across the grain into the end zone. Eddings has got to be one of the best running backs in the Bay Area this season.
Eddings, another hopeful for 1,000 yards this year, only a junior. Last year as a sophomore broke the 1,000 mark. We will be looking for good things from Eddings, possibly an All-East Bay candidate. So, for the extra point, Fernando. Holding Mike Golden. And it's good. You may not think so, but Mike Golden, an important part of the extra point. As you saw earlier, he got a high snap, had to bring it down and put it in place for Fernando to kick it. Mike Golden has excellent hands. You will see that, I'm sure, during the season when he catches a couple passes. So, 38 seconds to go. Excellent run that time, number 9, Chris Golden, breaking about 4 or 5 tackles.
Yeah, the Cougars kicked short again. I think that time intentionally to prevent the long run back, and that's exactly what they got, though. McClymonds brought the ball up to the 44-yard line of the Cougars.
So, 28 seconds remaining on the clock. Cougars 26, McClymonds 12. TV, yeah, we got it. And McGhee back to pass. Almost intercepted by...
Sorry for the loss of audio.
Sorry for the loss of audio. McGhee again back to pass in desperation. 2 incomplete passes. Next week, the Albany Cougars and I will be facing Hogan of Vallejo.
Yeah, next week it'll be, for those of you that would like to go to the game, it'll be a Saturday afternoon game played at 1 o'clock in Vallejo.
McGhee scrambling. Can't find anybody. Finally, looks like he handed it off somebody, but was stopped cold with 8 seconds. 7. The clock will run down. So the Cougars win their second game of the season, 26-12, as they defeat the McClymond Warriors.
They will. However, it'll take a moment longer as the Warriors decided to call a timeout with 5 seconds to go. No, we'll do it. There will be one more play. After the game, show a little bit of the celebration. Our cheerleaders, Go.
The Cougars with 5 seconds left on the clock now. Very close to victory. McClymonds will try a desperation pass. Cannot win. McGhee back for the long bomb, and he's sacked by Kevin Tannahill to end the ball game. The Cougars win 26-12 in an impressive fashion, stopping McGhee, a threatening passer, and stopping the McClymonds run. Andre Eddings had an excellent game. Joe Ortega also an excellent game on the ground. On defense, Eric Duong had an excellent game. Same with Kevin Tannahill, Doug Roney on the outside linebackers. Also, I must commend Marco Santos coming in his first varsity starting situation. Did an excellent job.
You're right on all counts, Ariel. Thanks a lot for tonight's broadcast. We look forward to seeing you on the field next week and hearing from you during basketball season. I'd like to also give a special thanks to cameraman James Miller. His first effort, an outstanding job.
The Cougar game was made possible by the following sponsors: Albany Body Shop, Albany Bowl, Albany Physical Therapy, Alkan Ingot Powders, American Florist, and the Albany Rotary Club, Anthony Electric, the Appetite Shop Delicatessen, Armstrong and Armstrong Insurance, Arrow Glass Company, and DNS Composing.